Hello, welcome to this informative video on what the 7 layers of the aura are. First, I will do a quick overview and then we will dive into each individual layer. So first and foremost, the aura is not a flat energy field. We do not just have one aura. It is actually composed of 7 different layers, each one that extends out further and further from the physical body, and each one holds different information about our physical, our emotional, our mental, our relational, and our spiritual experiences. So our aura is not a flat field of light. It is structured and an intelligent system all in itself. Each layer reflects a different dimension of our physical vitality, our emotional processing, our mental patterns, our relational imprinting, our structural blueprinting, our spiritual awareness, and our soul level integration. So understanding these 7 layers helps us identify where imbalances originate rather than only treating the surface level symptoms. So this is foundational knowledge for energy work, intuitive development, and just deeper self-awareness overall. These layers are not stacked like separate shells, however. They are kind of all intertwined and interdependent, and they influence one another continuously. So what shifts within one layer eventually ripples out to the others. We move from the densest layer closest to the body outward to the most refined. So now we will go through each of the 7 layers, layer by layer. The etheric body. This is the first layer of the aura. It sits closest to the physical body and extends roughly 1 or 2 inches outward. Its color is typically a pale blue or a grayish blue. The etheric body governs our physical vitality. It is the energetic blueprint of the physical body. It holds information about health, stamina, immune system, and nervous system regulation. This layer develops through sleep, nutrition, movement, trauma history, and chronic stress patterns. So when the body is consistently regulated and cared for, this layer strengthens. When the body is depleted, this layer weakens. If something is off in this layer, it may feel like fatigue, depletion, chronic tension, inflammation, or nervous system dysregulation. It can feel like being physically present, but energetically drained. When observing someone else, disturbances in their etheric layer may appear as dimness close to the body, uneven density, or just a sense that their energy is collapsed inward. When this layer is depleted, the emotional and mental layers become harder to regulate. So a destabilized physical system affects the entire field. Moving on, we are now at the emotional body. This is the second layer of the aura. It extends approximately 1 to 3 inches away from the body and is interwoven with the etheric layer. Its colors are fluid and shifting, often appearing as waves of orange, pink, green, or other moving tones. The emotional body governs feelings. It holds unprocessed emotions, stored reactions, mood patterns, and emotional memory. This layer develops through early attachment experiences, relational safety, and whether emotions were validated or suppressed during childhood and formative years. If something is off in this layer, it may feel like emotional validity, suppression, numbness, difficulty regulating feelings, or being easily triggered. Emotional residue from the past experiences can also remain here. When you're observing somebody else, imbalance in their emotional body may feel like chaotic movement in their field, murkiness, sharp bursts of colors, or even an overwhelming emotional presence. Unprocessed emotion in this layer often feeds directly into distorted thinking in the mental body, shaping belief systems and internal narratives. The next layer out, the third layer of the aura, is the mental body. So this extends roughly 3 to 8 inches from the body. Its color is often described as yellow. Our mental body governs thoughts, beliefs, perception, and internal dialogue. It holds our cognitive patterns, identity narratives, and worldview structures. This layer develops through education, culture, family belief systems, repeated experiences, and reinforced thought patterns over time. If something is off in this layer, it might feel like overthinking, rigid beliefs, mental fog, obsessive thought loops, black and white type of thinking, or persistent negative self-talk. When we are observing this in somebody else, a disturbance in the mental body might appear as dense yellow clouding, sharp angular formations, or a field that just feels overly tight and constricted. Rigid patterns in this layer can suppress emotional flow below it and block intuitive or spiritual perception above it. Now we are at the astral body. This is the fourth layer of the aura. It extends approximately 8 to 12 inches from the body. Its color is often described as a soft pink or rose, although it can carry blended emotional tones. The astral body governs relationships and connections. It holds information about attachment patterns, intimacy, heartbreak, energetic cords, and relational exchanges. This layer develops through bonding experiences, romantic partnerships, family dynamics, friendships, and attachment style formation. If something is off in this layer, it may feel like relational anxiety, fear of intimacy, lingering attachments to past partners, difficulty letting go, or even repeated relational patterns. When observing someone else, imbalance in their astral layer may appear as an energetic cords extending outward, heaviness around the heart area, gaps in connection energy, or fluctuations in relational responsiveness. Unresolved relational wounds here can drain vitality from the etheric layer and destabilize the emotional body. Now we are at the etheric template. This is the fifth layer of the aura. It extends approximately 1 to 2 feet from the body, and its color is often described as a deep cobalt blue. The etheric template is the structural blueprint beneath the physical body. It governs alignment, patterning, and the energetic architecture that shapes physical manifestation. This layer develops through long-term patterns. Chronic stress, injury, repeated emotional themes, and persistent belief structures can imprint here over time. If something is off in this layer, it might feel like misalignment, reoccurring physical patterns, chronic tension that does not resolve, or even structural repetition in life experiences. When observing this in somebody else, an imbalance might appear as distortion in the outer edges of their field, irregular patterning, or an uneven energetic symmetry. If this blueprint layer shifts, the physical body eventually follows, and it precedes structural change. Now we are at the celestial body. This is the sixth layer of the aura. It extends approximately 2 to 3 feet outward. Its color is often described as shimmering pastel light, pearlescent, or even iridescent. The celestial body governs intuition, spiritual awareness, compassion, and a transcendent experience. It holds moments of awe, devotion, unity, and deep connection to something beyond the personal self. This layer develops through meditation, creativity, spiritual practices, service to the collective, surrender, and experiences of wonder. If something is off in this layer, it may feel like spiritual disconnection, cynicism, loss of meaning, difficulty accessing intuition, or just generally feeling cut off from inspiration. When observing somebody else, imbalance may appear as dullness in the outer field, fragmentation in the upper layers, or just a sense of spiritual withdrawal. When this layer is open, but the lower layers are unstable, a person may feel spiritually expanded, but emotionally ungrounded. Lastly, we have the etheric or casual body. This is the seventh and outmost layer of the aura. It can extend 3 feet or even more from the body. Its color is often described as a golden or a brilliant white light. The casual body governs divine connection, life purpose, karmic imprinting, and overarching spiritual structure. It holds incarnational themes, long-term soul lessons, and the continuity of identity across time. This layer develops through integration of life experiences, alignment with purpose, deep self-awareness, and conscious evolution. If something is off in this layer, it may feel like existential confusion, loss of direction, fragmentation of identity, or just a deep sense of being unanchored in one's path. When observing somebody else, imbalance may appear as thinning or breaks in the outer golden layer or instability in the far outer field. When this layer is fractured, it can ripple downward into every other layer, affecting emotional stability, mental clarity, physical vitality, and overall spiritual coherence. So, to recap, the 7 layers, starting from the closest to the body and working the way out, are the etheric body, the emotional body, the mental body, the astral body, the etheric template, the celestial body, and then lastly, the etheric body, also called the causal body. Remember that all 7 layers truly function as one integrated system. The physical influences the emotional influences the mental, the relational influences vitality, the structural influences the physical, and the spiritual influences the whole. Each layer tells a different part of the story that makes up our entire aura. Make sure to check out a couple of my playlists, including healing energy practices, as well as the guided meditations for practices that can help you strengthen the different layers of your aura. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate any likes, comments, or shares. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe.